There it is. It's Larry Steinhouse. And this is the Larry Steinhouse Show, and it's been an all-day coach-a-thon. I've had some really cool guests. I'm having fun with this. So Hoan's sharing it. I love it. Thank you, Hoan. Mm-hmm. We're having a great time here today. I have all kinds of cool guests, and right now I've got somebody even cooler. You could just tell. You know what? When you look at that hairstyle right there, you know that this guy's got to be cool, right? Just that is just so awesome. So Hoan Thai, also known as Houdini, has been a Philadelphia real estate investor for the last 7 years. Only 7, boy. You know, you think I'd get somebody with a little more experience. Maybe. But anyway, right? So, so Hoan loves Section 8 rentals, and that's good. We're going to talk about that in a little while too. Multifamily. One of his well-known skill sets is being able to explain complex strategies in an easy-to-understand manner. His 4-step philosophy is first comes knowledge, then confidence, then action, then results. You know what I know about you? That is exactly you. That's awesome. He looks to help those brand new in the industry and get started, and helps seasoned investors step up to another level. He excels in raising capital, at creative acquisitions, self-directed retirement accounts, tax efficiency, and deal analysis. So, hi. So everybody say hi to Hoan. Come on, everybody say hi to Hoan. I want everybody in the comments section right now to say hi to Hoan. Come on, say hi. Oh, nobody said hi, Hoan. Nobody knows you.
Hi, Hoan.
All right, so now you could say hi.
Hi to me. Hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Hi, Larry.
Hi, Hoan. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing. Tell me a little bit about the real estate that you invest in.
Yeah.
And why you do it.
Yeah, well, I invest in real estate because I don't like working for people, and truth be told, I don't even like real estate. So people find that to be bizarre. But I don't like real estate. It just makes good financial sense.
All right. Now, you totally blew my mind just now. The very first thing I do is I put up on this thing, I post up that you're a real estate investor.
I am.
And then you say that you don't even like investing in real estate.
I don't.
Then why do it?
Because I like doing what I do for fun, and I do the real estate to make money.
Well, why not just get a job then, like everybody else who hates what they do?
Right. Larry's giving me an underhand pitch because my little catchphrase is Hoan Houdini Thai, helping you escape your 9 to 5. So I appreciate that. It's because I worked at a job. I worked in corporate America, got my engineering degree, went back to school, got my master's at night for engineering as well. And while working, I always would ask myself, do I want to have the job that my boss has? And the answer was no. So I said, okay, let me look further. And I looked at his boss. And I asked, do I want that job? And no, and no, and no. And they used to threaten me at my work. They used to threaten me all the time. They said, Hoan, if you work really, really hard, one day you will have this job. And I was like, oh, no. That's not what I want at all. And the reason is because I just saw how everybody was just giving away all of their time, all of their life for this job. And at the end, they were miserable anyway. So I didn't want that. I didn't want a job.
You know, that's great because I have to tell you that that's sort of the way I feel about it too.
Okay.
I mean, it's very funny. I my last job, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I hated my boss so much that he fired me 4 times in 20 years. 4 times. And every single time I went back to him. Is that insane? But you know what I did? The money was too good to say no to. And then one day I realized that not only was I not making the money I could have made by not working there, but I was so much happier not working there.
Right.
I hated that company. I hated that boss.
Right.
You know, and the weird part is sometimes he appears to be a nice guy, but he was the worst boss on the planet.
Right.
No one who ever worked there stayed there long, except for me. And I don't know, maybe it was because I was a glutton for punishment, or it was because I just liked getting a lot of money. I mean, I was making 6 figures, which isn't a lot of money compared to what I make now.
Right.
You know, as you probably know, one of my mentors, Phil Falcone, who I shared the school with, he said to me, "Quit your job, you'll make more money." And sure enough, one day I quit my job and I made more money. I actually got fired, believe it or not, again for the 4th time. And last year I made 4 times what I made at that job. So I totally get it. Yeah. But now I'm going to question you, and I don't quite get the fact that you say you don't like real estate. So if you don't like real estate, why not just do something else that you do like?
Well, because I don't want the burden of having to make money on that thing that I love. Let's say I love fish tanks, and I want to build aquariums, and I want to do all that kind of stuff. But I want to do it for me. And in order to make money from it, I would have to hope that somebody buys my fish tanks, or I have to create a YouTube video and sell ads and and produces and I have to do it now instead of me wanting to do it. So I don't want to turn it into this thing that it taints it. It taints the love for it, because now if I have to make money from it, then I may no longer like it or love it.
So what is the fun things that you like to do?
Well, snowboarding, bike riding, building fish tanks, like things like that. You know, I do actually like those things, and I don't want to have to make money from them.
Okay, excellent.
And I want to keep them pure.
So you don't think you don't think that if you made the perfect skateboard or snowboard,
And I like that kind of stuff too.
I mean, I realize I would imagine you can't make as much money, but I find that now all I want to do, only things I want to do, are things I'm having fun with. In fact, this whole show, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You probably heard me earlier say that this entire show is just my pure selfishness.
Yeah.
It's just about the
Absolutely.
fact that I want to have a lot of fun, and I'm here having a great time with guys like you, women like Donna, the dumb niches. I'm having such a good time that it's just pure selfishness that I'm sitting here doing this instead of having to go to work, instead of having to worry about it.
Right.
But real estate and stock options, of course, pay for everything I do.
Right. If you ever follow me on Facebook, I like to joke a lot of times that I don't do any work.
Right.
I'm always joking that I'm not doing any work. And it's because I have people who are better than me doing the work for me. Right? The real estate does the work. There's a system. There's people. There's things in place so that I'm not working.
Do you have property managers?
I don't, but I do the properties really nice so that
nothing much happens. Right.
And then when the things do happen, I just send a text message to the contractor who goes to do it.
It's funny. You're younger than me, so you send text messages, and that's exactly what I tell people all the time. I said, you don't really need to work very hard in real estate. It's not that hard.
Right.
I've had people, what happens if you get a call at 2:00 in the morning because the toilet's stuffed up? I'm like, are you kidding me? You think somebody's going to call you at 2:00 in the morning because the toilet's stuffed up? And if they do, what do you think I'm going to say to them? I'm going to say, I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't use the toilet until tomorrow morning. Goodbye. I mean, what would you do if it was your own toilet in your own house?
Right.
And how often does stuff like that happen? I think in 36 years, is it that? I think it may even be less. It might be, whatever. In 36 years of investing in real estate, I think I went on one call ever that I considered an emergency that it wasn't even an emergency. Right. I decided it was an emergency, so I went out there and I did it myself. Well, I didn't even do it myself. I actually called the plumber the next day. Yeah. But I was concerned that the house might get flooded because the water heater was leaking. And all I had to do was really tell the tenant, turn off the water. I'll have a plumber there in the morning. Right. But I was, I was young. I thought I knew it all, and I thought I had to worry about these things, and you don't.
Yeah.
And that's what real estate is. So it actually sounds like you say you hate real estate, but you don't. It's not really. It's not the same thing as a 9-to-5 job.
It's nowhere
you hate.
close. Right. Nowhere close. And like to your point of go leave your job and go make more money. Like that's what happened for me.
Absolutely.
I make way more money than my engineering job, and I would tell people, I'm not an engineer anymore. And they're like, oh my God, you left that job? You left an engineering job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we got a couple of people coming in real quick. We got Karen saying you're a smart man, which. You could just tell by that smile he's got to be a smart man, right? You got Ron saying, hi, Hoan, it's off to real estate school we go. We've got Leslie saying, love you, Hoan. And we got Chris Taylor and Brian Paul both giving thumbs up and waving and saying hi.
Awesome.
So you must have some fans out there, man.
A little bit. I'm trying to help people. And when you help people, they tend to like you.
Isn't that awesome? I feel the same exact way. When you help people, they tend to like you.
Right.
And
when you make them money.
The heart, right? When you help them from the heart, that's what makes a difference.
Right.
And I know you, and I know how you help people from the heart.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic that you do that.
Yeah. And then when you help them make money, they really like you.
Well, if they do. You're right, and of course, I mean it's an obvious statement, but I don't want to take away the fact that you're not just trying to help them make money. You're trying to help them better their life.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. That's what you do. That's what the people, all our peers do. I just think it's such a phenomenal thing. So tell me about. So you said Section 8. So you're a specialist in Section 8 now. Everybody out there says the same thing. Oh my God, Section 8, it's terrible. Who would want to do Section 8? Why would anybody want to do They don't even pay for it themselves. Oh my God. So what's your real experience with Section 8?
They've been fantastic, actually. I grew up in a low-income city, or South Philly, before it was hot. Before when you can buy properties for $10,000 a piece.
Don't you wish you bought them all?
Yeah, right. But what I realized, I know how to get along with my Section 8 tenants is because I grew up with these people. Like I grew up in that environment. And when you just treat them like people and you relate to them as such, they treat your properties nicely. They treat you with respect. They've been great tenants. It's the non-Section 8 tenants that I've had the most problems with. The Section 8 tenants are perfect. They call me and they're like, hey, do you want to come pick up your rent portion? Like, hey, and if I don't reach out to them, they reach out and like, where have you been? Like, hello. So yeah. I've had, knock on wood. I mean, things can happen, but so far, it's been great.
It's like every other tenant. It's tenant management. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. I had Section 8 tenants. I just don't have any at the time.
Yeah.
But I've had Section 8 tenants in the past, and I found them to be the best tenants. I agree with you. And it's funny because the biggest thing that ever happened to me, the biggest thing that ever went wrong with a Section 8 tenant, you're going to laugh, is that the government went on strike.
You're right.
I'm not on strike.
Furlough.
And I didn't get my rent check for 2 weeks.
Right.
And then you're like, well, and I joked because I said to the case manager, I said, well, don't I get a late fee then? And she goes, yeah, right. I just thought that was funny because you can't get that, and I understood that. And of course I wasn't going to go after the 10 for it either because that's not fair. But that was the worst thing that's ever happened with a Section 8 tenants was that the government wasn't there, and I couldn't get my check because they didn't cut it. But that's it. That's really it.
A viewpoint that most people overlook is that Section 8 tenants are often more forgiving. Things will be chipped, dirty, broken, and they'll live with it for a long time. They'll never, ever, ever even complain about it because that's what they're used to. Whereas if you maybe go higher end and there's a leaf on the sidewalk, they might call you and say, there's a leaf. I don't know what to do. And it's like, are you kidding me? So even with that, in terms of the management of the people, because of what their expectations are, it makes my job just so much easier.
Yeah, and it always comes down. It always comes down to tenant management. If you manage your tenants properly, you're never going to have problems, or you're going to have very little problems. Right. I mean, you're always going to have these little things that go wrong. But tenants have to understand that they live there.
Right.
This is their home, and if they don't treat it like a home, well, guess what? Things are going to break, and when they break because the tenant broke them, they're going to have to pay for it.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. That's what security deposit's for. That's what the court system is for. And if you're late, you have to pay a late fee.
Right.
It's not like this is not your mother. I'm not your mother. I'm not your father.
Yeah.
I'm your landlord, and this is my place. And and I could come in there and I could shake your hand and smile and say all nice things about you. But when you don't pay your rent, guess what? My smile turns into a frown.
Yeah. So for what I find at first time investors, a lot of times they overly focus on what can go wrong. Right? They're always looking at what might go wrong, and that's good. Fine. Find a solution to mitigate that risk. But even if whatever you're saying goes wrong, think about how much time you need to put into fixing that versus how much time you spend at your job. Right? If you just put all that effort that you put into your 9 to 5 into real estate investing, it's so much easier.
I like that a lot. That's absolutely true. Yeah.
But they're okay with just throwing away 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week every single week. They're just, okay, I'll just do it.
But don't they need a lot of money to invest in real estate?
Or no money at all, right? We teach it all the time. No money, no credit.
That's right.
Yeah, you can make money buying real estate.
Absolutely, and people still don't get this. They think they're out of money. I mean, you remember I gave a presentation that you went to about other people's money, and the first thing I talked about was the fact that the first time I ever heard about somebody using other people's money, I laughed. I said, "Come on, people can't use other people's money. It's most ridiculous. Hey, Jabbar, what's going on, man? We need to get together. Thanks for tuning in." So I found that absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
That that. At the time, that people said that you can use other people. Oh, yeah, who's going to lend me money on a real estate deal?
Right.
Well, now, of course, you teach it, I teach it, right? And people lend money in a real estate deal. They're like, I've had people fight over, please let me lend you money on this deal. And I'm like, I can't use you. I'm sorry.
Right.
Somebody else gave me a half a point less. Oh, I'll match it. I'm like, wow, I promise I'll give you the next one. And I call up I get my next deal, and the next person says, and that person says to me, well, or somebody else says, hey, you know the deal? I go, well, I just had to give it to somebody else because I promised I was going to give it to them. That's how weird it is, and how much it changes. Other people's money is real.
Right.
It really is real.
One of my personal lenders is Visa.
Oh, well, of course,
right?
Yeah. And so what have we talked about, right?
Yeah.
We talked about getting money off your credit cards, and if you're not doing this, hey, Mitesh, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. So it amazes me that people don't understand that your credit cards are one of the greatest places to find money. So everyone listening should do what?
Raise your credit limits.
Raise your credit limits, right?
Credit and what they don't realize is when you raise your credit limits, your credit score gets better because your utilization ratio is better.
That's right. Guess who's coming today?
I have no idea.
You will blow your mind when I tell you who's coming. Trevor Evans.
Oh, really?
Isn't that wild?
Oh, that's awesome.
So the reason we're bringing this up is Hoan and I went to the first time we met, and we met again. But the first time we met at a seminar, a real estate seminar. We both were checking out the competition, right?
Yep.
And we went to the seminar, and the instructor was a guy named Trevor Evans, who's coming today. Yeah. And this is something he taught, and I got to give him the props on this one.
That's crazy.
He sat there, and we were in the audience, and he said, "Raise your credit limit." Now, I've now taken this to the nth degree. I can now get over $400,000 available credit on credit cards now. So imagine having $400,000 available to you at any time. Right. So if a deal comes along and I can't find my money in a week or 2 weeks, I can get my money in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can go to any bank, or I can even give you guys a clue. You can even go to PayPal. You open up a PayPal account and you send yourself a bill, and you pay yourself with your credit card, and that's how you get money. It's a really great idea.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, thanks for tuning in. Christopher Taylor says, so true. It's a beautiful thing.
It is. I use it all the time. What's crazy is that even though I'm doing it and you're doing it and we're proving it over and over and over and over, people are like, you can't do that. Like, then what am I doing? Like, they're like, you can't do that. You can't buy houses with credit cards. Then what did I just buy? How did I just do it?
When I tell people I take over mortgages, because my favorite way to buy houses is subject to. They're like, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
That's illegal. I mean, no.
Nope.
There really is no subject to jail. I promise. There's no subject to jail. I promise that.
Right.
And I promise you that what I'm doing is not only legal, but it's so legal that it's actually on the government forms when you buy a house, on the HUD-1 form and the CD that says line 517 that says subject to what. And then you put
write whatever you want.
Right. I always find that hysterical that it's in there.
I think the breakdown is that people get to a point where they feel like they know everything or they've done everything. Right. When we were 16, we knew everything.
That's right.
We knew everything. At
the
16.
older I get, the dumber I get.
Yeah. Right. And then at 18, you realized how little you knew at 16. But now at 18, you know everything.
Right.
And then at 21, the same thing. But then as you get older and wiser, you realize how little you know in the world.
Right.
So that's why I'm always digging. That's why I go to your seminar, even though I have my own seminar.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Yeah, I mean, technically, Hoan and I are competitors, but who cares?
I mean, technically.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but the whole idea is, like Hoan and I, we respect each other, we understand each other, we talk to each other, we know. And this is the other thing about real estate investors that I've noticed too is the true real estate investor is always helping other real estate investors.
Yeah.
And frankly, we're all capitalists. Hoan has a class that he charges for. I have a class that I charge for. We're all capitalists. And if you don't believe that the better real estate agents are the better real estate investors that you could talk to are the ones that aren't charging, you're making a mistake. The ones who are charging are the ones who are doing it right. Because they're telling you that, hey, I have so much knowledge that it's worth paying for. But besides that, if they're not good business people and they're not capitalists and they don't understand how their knowledge is important and worth value, then why would you ever want to take advice from them? I mean, who you ever take? I love the people who go, well, my uncle he's failed in real estate investing, so I think it's a really bad idea. Well, how many houses did he own? Well, he bought one and he had trouble renting it, and then he sold it for $50,000 less than he paid for it. So what kind of advice can your uncle possibly give you?
Right.
The best advice your uncle give you is don't take advice from me.
That's true. But they don't realize it. And they always go to the people who are closest and then also who's the cheapest.
Right. Well, right. The ones who will talk them out of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because it's easy to talk out of it. It's easy to say no. Because when you say no, nothing changes. And you get to keep whatever pain you had versus going for what's new, which could also be painful, but it's unknown. So you say, no. I don't want to take any risk, take any chances.
Absolutely true. And again, all you need to do is learn. You learn something new, and look, you decide whether you're going to try it or not try it. But when someone tells you that they're doing it and it's working, believe me, it's real.
Right.
Now, again, you can make the choice, say, I just don't want to do it. But don't say you don't want to do it because it can't be done.
Right.
Because it can be done. I'm doing it. Hoan's doing it.
Right.
Look, I want to have a Facebook Live show. Guess what? I have a Facebook Live show.
Ta-da.
This is not a studio where somebody walks around with a little camera, right? And they, oh, look at my Facebook Live show.
Yeah.
No, look at my Facebook Live show. Look what I put into it. And you know what? I put into this much because I enjoy this. It's a blast. I want to do it right. I want to have some fun with it. I want to sit here. I realize I don't have to sit here with headphones on. I don't have to sit here with these fancy microphones. I don't have to sit here with 16 cameras in the room.
Right.
But it's a blast. It's fun. So just
I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture.
You take a picture while we're in there. Okay, here we go. Cool.
Yeah, while live.
While live. That's even cooler. I like it.
Yeah. The thing that people have to, I guess, if they want to get started, is just to realize that they have to add value, but they need to know how to add value. Right. They're always like, give me, like teach me, mentor me,
yeah.
Right? But what are you providing? So the universal law: give and you shall receive.
Give
right?
more.
Give more.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Secrets of Success, Napoleon Hill's Secrets of Success, in the book, it says give more value.
Right.
Always give more value than you expect. Actually, just give.
Yeah.
And when you just give, you'll get.
Absolutely.
And always do more than you paid for.
Right.
I mean, how many people will go to work every day and do more than what they're paid for? No one.
Many.
Most people don't even do what they're paid for.
Right.
Right. And then they wonder, well, I should get a raise. Well, why do you want a raise? Well, because I need more money. Well,
Because right.
Well, what are you doing to get more money?
Because I've been here for years.
And I hate my job, and I'm just gonna sit behind my desk and do nothing all day. Well, why do you think you deserve a raise? What you deserve is to be fired. And people don't get it. So just give more value, and you'll make more money.
Right.
I hate to say this, but guess what? We're out of time. I know. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah.
I know. I've been hating that all day because I've been having such a blast talking to people.
Yeah.
But then I get to talk to somebody else. You have to leave.
I know.
No. But anyway, so real quick, people get a hold of you on Facebook, right?
Facebook, you can go to iescapedmy9to5.com.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Beautiful.
the website.
Okay.
Facebook as well. Instagram.
Yeah,
all that.
and Hoan's a great guy. I love Hoan, and Hoan and I we're definitely what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yin and yang. I don't know.
Well, I got a yin and yang tattooed on my thing. I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I've never seen you without your shirt off.
And I'll probably keep it that way for a long time. Anyway, guys, it was good to talk to Hoan. Thanks so much for coming. Wave goodbye to everybody.
All right. Later, everybody.